Good evening, everyone. I am General Brian Brown, and thank you for joining me for the drill team portion of the Vision Conference. Even though the current pandemic has kept the convention from meeting in person, we still have a virtual class to show we are still together and still functioning. Now, this is a live broadcast. I'm actually sitting here in my office in my home in Houston, Texas, talking to you all. And for those of you all listening live, at the bottom of your picture, there should be a white box with the words, click here to join live chat. If you click on it, it will redirect you to the YouTube version of the stream and you can comment and ask questions live. I can see those questions and comments and I'll get to them at the end of the presentation when we have our live question and answer period. So if you want to comment or ask a question, go ahead and click on that box now. If you don't and you just want to sit back and watch, then just stay where you are. Without further ado, let's get the presentation started. Good evening, everyone. I am General Brian Brown, and I am the Drill Team Coordinator for the National Baptist Congress and Vision Conference. This year's theme is Reset, Renew, Rebuild. As churches begin to start having in-person worship services, Bible study, and ministry meetings, there is much work to do to reestablish those ministries. One particular ministry that is definitely no exception to this is the drill team ministry. With a small exception of a few, most drill teams have not had an in-person meeting in well over a year. Some of the issues we will have to face are, will everyone come back after so long of not meeting, practicing, and performing? Will there still be the motivation to have regular weekly practice and learn new routines and Bible scriptures? Will parents and adult members be able to get back in the routine of giving up some weekday evenings or weekend mornings to come to practice? Will everyone be able to make the financial sacrifice it requires to be a member of the drill team and travel to places like the National Baptist Congress? These are challenges that every drill team director and person in a leadership position on the team has to think about and hopefully develop a plan for. I believe everyone is going through a time of testing or feeling that normalcy will never return. I want to say to everyone that no matter what you face, don't be filled with despair or doubt, and don't give up. Based on the authority of the Bible, we can be sure that God has not forgotten us. We must continue to stay faithful, sowing seeds into His kingdom and expecting a harvest. For those of us who are directors and assistants, we must be a good steward of the resources we have been given. Complete the task of leading children and young adults to spread God's word through the drill team ministry. Times like the present is why it's so important to have a strong foundation in your relationship with God. In the last year and a half, we have witnessed a worldwide pandemic, police brutality taking the lives of unarmed people of color, hatred, and systemic racism. We must all set an example for what it means to strive for justice for all. I believe that today's youth will be in even more danger if we don't establish a strong spiritual foundation with them at a young age. This, of course, starts at home, but not every child has the opportunity to learn this because of their circumstances. It is my hope that the drill team continues to be an additional vessel for educating youth about God, Scripture, and faith. I hope that it teaches them to pray and recognize the Spirit. Lastly, that it teaches them to apply gospel principles in their everyday lives so that they can grow up to be successful adults and find their way in this challenging world that we all live in. 1 Corinthians 15:58 reads, "Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord." As the world begins to pull itself out of this pandemic, I am very much looking forward to the day when everyone can meet again and fellowship with one another in the drill team ministry. I want to thank all of you for tuning in to the drill team segment of the Vision Conference this evening. I know we have people from all over the country that have logged on to check out what's going on with the Vision Conference. As I said earlier, with an exception of a few, most drill teams haven't met in person in over a year. But this evening, we will have a special presentation by one of those exceptions. Out of Hillside, Illinois, under the direction of Sister Monique Jones, we have the Freedom Baptist Church Cavaliers drill team, where the pastor is Pastor Craig M. Smith. We will show their recent performance right after this. I hope you stay tuned, because right after Freedom's performance, we have two very special tribute videos that we want to share with the audience. I hope you enjoy them. God bless.
See, that kiss helped Jesus defeat the cross. What the devil meant for bad, God turned it around for our good. Judas was a naysayer, a disbeliever. Even though he watched Jesus perform all those miracles, he still didn't believe. So, in essence, let's look to the naysayers and the disbelievers and let them know that Jesus defeated the cross.
That was an excellent performance by the Freedom Cavaliers drill team out of Hillside, Illinois. Freedom is also an R.H. Boyd Award winner. That is a one-time Hall of Fame award for attending the Congress for more than 15 years. They received that award in 2019 in Charlotte, North Carolina. Next up, we have two tribute videos that we would like to share. And I just want to say to everyone that both of these videos were a challenge to create. There was a lot of reflecting memories, stories being told, just pictures. These videos were they were just very, very difficult to create. They do honor two people who were instrumental in the creation and progression of the Drill Team ministry. I hope you all enjoy. This woman is commonly considered to be the matriarch of the Drill Team ministry. I can remember when I was a young boy and first saw her and the McGee Chapel Drill Team at the National Baptist Congress. This lady was short, but she carried a megaphone. The drill team that she commanded, all 100 plus of them, snapped to attention at the sound of her voice. That voice was the voice of none other than Sister Lynn Bennett Rogers. Sister Bennett, as we all called her, was born in Cleveland, Ohio in 1947 to the parentage of Roy Albert Pryor and Ollie Virginia Lanier Pryor. She is the eldest of three girls. After she completed her undergraduate degree, she moved to Houston, Texas in 1979. In 1981, she became a dedicated member of her beloved church, McGee Chapel, in which she wore many hats. She served on the usher board, Sunday school, and the Women's Guild. In 1984, Sister Bennett became one of the founding and lasting members of the McGee Chapel Marching for Jesus Drill Team. She was also one of the lead drill team leaders at the National Baptist Sunday School and BTU Congress. She first attended the National Baptist Congress, bringing the drill team with her in 1986 to New Orleans, Louisiana, where it was being held that year. For 34 years, she served and led the McGee Chapel Drill Team and others to accomplish great works for the Lord. She has touched the lives of thousands of children and adults. Some of the fondest memories I have of her was when I was a young boy in the St. Agnes March of Faith Drill Team. We would see McGee Chapel several times a year at Drill Team extravaganzas and at nationals. They had a lot of members at that particular time. Sister Bennett needed a megaphone to project her voice to all 100 plus cadets standing in line, ready to obey her commands. I had never seen that in a drill team before where the director used a megaphone as commonly as she did. It made her barely 5-foot stature seem like she was over 8 feet tall when she spoke. And I mean that in a good way. That got her the nickname of Captain Chipmunk. She had a pretty smile, but I didn't mistake that for the discipline that she demanded from her team, as well as other drill team cadets. As I transitioned from a cadet to a trainer and then to an assistant, I got to know Sister Bennett a lot more. She was the sweetest little lady you could ever meet, always smiling and having a good attitude. I can remember at quite a few congresses where when we would run across each other and we both had a few minutes to spare, we would talk about all sorts of subjects, such as drill team, of course, how her youngest daughter Melanie was doing because her and I were close in age, to just life in general, to name a few. I would enjoy how she would teach class at nationals, her voice ringing through the ballroom in the convention center. She was such a pleasure to be around. On May 4th, 2018, the drill team ministry was knocked off its feet with the news of Sister Bennett leaving us. I can remember that day vividly. Her assistant gave me a call around 6 a.m. that morning with the sad news. I immediately sat up in bed with a heavy feeling of grief. So many thoughts raced through my mind. How are her husband, 2 daughters, and grandchildren holding up with this sudden unexpected news? What's going to happen to the McGee Chapel drill team? Who's going to teach class at Gulf Coast and at Congress now? I had so many thoughts going through my head I couldn't even see straight. She was the face of one of my favorite drill teams to watch, the McGee Chapel drill team, and now she is gone from us. As I reflect on my time, experiences, and talks with Sister Bennett, I am truly grateful that I got to know her and be around her. She was such a beacon of light and a symbol of hope and goodness. Matriarch of the drill team ministry, wife, mother, grandmother, sister, and friend. She is a big reason why so many children and adults have joined the drill team through service, praise, and spreading His goodness throughout the land. Sister Lynn Bennett Rogers, you are truly missed. This man is considered the founder and patriarch of the drill team ministry as we know it. He was the national coordinator of church drill teams and highest ranking guy in the ministry. I can remember when I first joined the drill team, how this man would walk in and the entire room would get quiet, whether it was at church or at the National Baptist Congress with all the other drill teams. He used to say, "I'm the meanest, nicest guy you will ever meet." This guy is none other than Brother Oscar Alexis. Brother Oscar Alexis was born to the union of Francis and Weta Alexis in Houston, Texas in 1942. He was the third born of 5 children. He graduated from Jack Yates High School, where he was a member of the ROTC. After high school, he did roughly 3 months at Texas Southern University, decided college was not for him, and enlisted in the Army. He served 33 months in the service, just a few months shy of 3 years, and made it to the rank of Specialist 4. While in the service, Brother Alexis went to jump school and became a paratrooper in the famous 82nd Airborne Division at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. That was one of his proudest accomplishments. At the end of September in 1961, while still in the service, he attended a dance in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and met a young lady there. Her name was Marie Fitzgerald. Long story short, a year and a half later, they were married on February 3rd, 1963. They celebrated 57 years of marriage. Brother Alexis worked at Hughes Tool Company for 28 years and also as a reservationist for Southwest Airlines for 12 years before he retired. Marie Alexis retired from MD Anderson Hospital after 36 years of service. They have one daughter, Valerie Alexis Seymour, and 2 grandchildren, Michael Lane and Taylor Alexis. In September of 1980, Brother Alexis started the St. Agnes Children of God Drill Team. He later renamed it the St. Agnes March of Faith Drill Team to be more aligned with his pastor's ministry. In 1981, he took the team and attended the National Baptist Sunday School and BTU Congress in Cleveland, Ohio, where it was held that year. Ever since then, the March of Faith drill team has attended the Congress every year, no matter what city it was held in. The March of Faith drill team has performed at numerous events over the years: church events, parades, professional sporting event halftime shows, malls, and even in grocery stores. Because of the drill team, many kids were given opportunities to travel around the country. Brother Alexis never wanted to leave a child behind. He would find a way for every child to participate regardless of their circumstances. I can remember when I joined the drill team. Brother Alexis was a no-nonsense drill sergeant who I both feared and respected. As I grew up, it became quite clear to me that in spite of his tough outer shell, inwardly, he was the most caring parental figure a kid could have. He looked after all of us like we were his own. He provided the discipline, the guidance, the encouragement, and above all, the love, while teaching the importance of being the best you could be. Over the years of us being together in the drill team, him being the director and me becoming his assistant, we became close. We had a father-son-like bond. I learned a lot from his style of leadership and compassion for children. Over the last several years, I watched as he's transitioned from the hard Sarge to the thoughtful, mellow, made gentle by age and maturity kind of guy. He mentioned to me several times about retiring from being the national director. I remember him telling me one day at practice back in 2020 that when we go to Dallas, that would be his last Congress in charge. Health reasons were one major factor in his decision for that. He said to me that a good leader also knows when their time is coming to an end. Whether they want to accept it or not is on them. Now understand this, even though Brother Alexis had one biological child, he was a father to many. It was not uncommon of him to be concerned with a child's personal life just as much as he was concerned with them knowing the routine and scriptures for the drill team. He loved church and hearing the word. We would often talk about some of his favorite preachers, books of the Bible, and some modern day proverbs. As he got in his latter years, he was quite the joker too. Simply put, he was an officer and a gentleman. December 8th, 2020 was a very sad day. The drill team ministry was crippled. Brother Oscar Alexis had passed. The news sent a shockwave through not only current members in the ministry, but also past members and longtime supporters. I myself was, of course, heartbroken. The man I knew as a mentor, teacher, father figure, and role model was no longer here. We all thought this man would outlive everyone. He would be here at least to see 200 years old. Patriarch of the drill team ministry, husband, father, grandfather, brother, soldier, mentor, role model, and friend. His personality, determination, knowledge, and influence are what made him such a pleasure to learn from and work with. His greatest joy was enjoying the family, serving the Lord, and working with church drill teams. Brother Oscar Alexis, you can never be replaced. We love you for all you did and the standard that you set and stood for. Rest in peace, sir. Guys, I gotta be honest. I watched both videos 20 times, and I still can't believe they're both gone from us. When I look at a McGee Chapel performance from the past or reflect on the classes and events from the last two congresses when we were in Memphis and Charlotte, it's obvious that Sister Bennett was missing. It just felt like there was a piece of the puzzle that wasn't there, a big piece, especially during class time. I mean, she was the sweetest. She was the sweetest little lady. I truly miss her. And most of you all know that me and Brother Alexis were very close. We would talk several times a week, several times a day. And even to this day, I often think about calling him. And I have to catch myself sometimes. I look for his name in my phone and, I want to dial it. And I remember he's not going to pick up. That line is not going to be answered. And I'm not going to hear his voice. But I'm thankful. I'm thankful to God for the time that he blessed me with to work under him and beside him. Brother Alexis was an officer and a gentleman. He was a true man of God. And he can never be replaced. And I truly miss him. And Sister Bennett, those two are very dear to my heart. Now I'm going to address some of the comments. And if we have any questions in our chat menu, I'll get to those. I did want to start off by reading something from the Sister Bennett's family. Her oldest daughter, Marla, commented in the chat section, and I just want to read it aloud here. She says, "I would like to thank the Drill Team Ministry for honoring Sister Bennett and her contributions to the Drill Team Ministry. She loves the Drill Team and how much has changed the lives of so many young people. She is looking down on us with a pleased heart. Thank you all and Brian for such an amazing tribute. With love, the Bennett sisters, Marla and Melanie." And I just want to say to the family, Marla and Melanie, your mom she was always happy. Never saw her frown. I had nothing but good memories of talking to your mom, sitting next to your mom at Congress. Like I said in the video, she was just a pleasure to work with, and there was definitely a void left when she passed. So I just want to let you all know that. Also, her Sister Bennett's sister Lois said thank you for such a beautiful tribute to her, with love from the family. I just want to acknowledge the family, Sister Bennett's family. Also, Brother Alexis' daughter, Valerie, says, "Thank you, Brian, for such a great tribute to my dad, my mom, Michael, Taylor, and Norman, and I are grateful to see the precious Drill Team memories you have presented today." And guys, I just want to say, like I said, making those videos with me and Reverend Vernon Tubbs from McGee Chapel was a challenge. I mean, we sat back and told stories, looked at pictures, of course, Brother Alexis imitated Sister Bennett, had laughs. It was a pleasure to work with him, and it was a challenge to make those videos. I mean, I've watched them 20 times, and you still want to tear up. So, Valerie, Sister Alexis, Taylor, the whole Alexis family, you guys, I just want to say it was an honor to work with your husband, your father, your grandfather, your father-in-law, brother, uncle, you name it. I enjoyed every minute of it. The only regret I have is not having more pictures with him. There's pictures of us with the team, but just pictures of him and I just wish I had more of those. That's the only thing I can think of as a regret. He was definitely just absolute pleasure to work with, and he was a father figure. And that's coming from a guy who has a father. He was like a second father. You could talk to him about anything, and I mean, we talked hours at a time. He would tell me old war stories, soldier stories from when he was in the Army, just working at Hughes Tool Company. I mean, you name it. It's old Drill Team memories and stories and stuff that I could talk for hours. I mean, I could fill up. I mean, if we could just have a auditorium and everybody sit down, I could sit here and tell stories for a couple of hours and have everyone laughing. Just want to say it was a good ride with him. It's a good ride. Any other questions that we may have here? I'm just making sure I don't skip over any questions. I see where Sister Tiny from Fountain of Praise has commented. Thank you, Tiny, for those compliments there. Brother Alexis's daughter said, "Thank you for sharing. My dad was me over the years. I'm an only child biologically. You played his favorite song. That's correct, Valerie. We did choose Out of My Steps because he loved that song so much. I thought that was appropriate. I still remember the performance many years ago when we did Out of My Steps. So yeah." It's been a great ride, guys, and you know, I hate it's over, but you know, all of us one day must follow that same path that Sister Bennett and Brother Alexis have traveled. We've all got to go one day as well, and hopefully everyone can leave behind a legacy. I do want to discuss a little bit about getting back in person. You know, restrictions are being lifted. You know, I'm looking forward to next year, seeing everyone in person. That would be a great day. I miss everyone. I miss you all. I definitely miss Friday nights at the Congress. That was normally my favorite. Usually my favorite part is the trophy presentation, and then watching all the drill teams march out and they're singing their chants, and they're drilling in the hallways and on the sidewalks and fellowshipping. And I just don't want it to end that Friday night, because we have to go a whole nother 356 days before we see some of each other again. And you never know if the people who you've made a connection with will be there next year. But you hope. So, hopefully everyone is getting back together soon, has made plans to get back together and come back with an even more powerful punch. Let everyone know we're still here. We're going to make it through the pandemic, and we're going to march forward. Other than that, I can see that some other people are commenting. Thank you, Jason Walker from Fountain of Praise. And I will leave maybe one more minute if you guys want to keep leaving chats. Thank you, Miss LaQuela Hart from North Shore drill team. Guys, I really miss you all. Like I said, it's tragedy that we've been away from each other for 2 years, and especially the kids who have graduated, the ones that we didn't get to see graduate. I can't wait to get back to some type of normalcy, and hopefully you all feel the same way. So with that, I'll just end it there. That brings us to our conclusion of our drill team portion for the Vision Conference. And I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in this evening. And I want to remind everyone about the youth rally tomorrow evening, Friday at 6:30 p.m. Okay, that's the youth rally. There will also be another tribute to Brother Alexis, I believe. It's a walk down memory lane is what they titled it. So tomorrow evening at 6:30, you can log right back in and catch that. That's a youth rally tomorrow. Like I said, I really appreciate everyone for taking time out of their day to join in for our drill team broadcast, and I hope everyone enjoyed it as much as I did. Hope to see everybody in person soon.